Hi, this is Bodhi here from learningbreaksacademy.com. Today we are going to look at day 12 of our course, wherein we are going to understand how do we exactly determine a true, false, not given question set. So this is going to be quite interesting, and I'm very excited today to share these tips with you. We are going to solve a question paper live on camera together. And we are going to understand the logic behind the determination of true, false, and not given in the IELTS examination. So let's begin. Okay, let me go ahead and share the screen with you so that it becomes easier for me to understand. Just give me one moment. I've already sent the questions and the passage to you over email on day 12 of the course. And we are just going to have a look at it quickly so that we know and understand what are we talking about. The passage is about transition care for the elderly. I'm going to quickly read the passage so that it can be well understood with the context. What is transition care? Transition care is for older people who have been receiving medical treatment but need more help to recover and have time to decide the best place for them to live longer. You can only access transition care directly from the hospital. Transition care is focused on individual goals and therapies and is given for a limited time only. It offers access to a package of services that may include low intensity therapies such as physiotherapy, exercise, mobility, strength and balance, and podiatry, that is foot care. Access to a social worker, nursing support for clinical care such as wound care, personal care. Who provides transition care services? Transition care is often provided by non-government organizations and is subsidized by the government. If your circumstances allow, it is expected you will contribute to the cost of your care. Daily care fees are set by the organization that provides you transition care services, your service provider. They should explain these fees to you, and the amount charged should form part of the agreement between you and the service provider. The fee is calculated daily. Where do I receive transition care? Transition care is provided in your own home or a live-in setting. This setting can be part of an existing aged care home or health facility such as a separate wing of a hospital. What if I'm already receiving services through a different program? If you're already receiving subsidized residential care or in an aged care home, or but you need to go somewhere else for transition care, your place in the aged care home will be held until you return. Now let us have a look at the questions. I hope that you get to read that entire passage um, that I've sent you over the email on day 12. We're going to just quickly hop onto the questions, try to understand the basic logic behind the determination of a true, false, and not given. So the first question here is only hospital patients can go on to have transition care. Where do we find this answer? Let us go ahead and have a look. As we can see in the first paragraph itself, you can only access transition care directly from the hospital. The question here again is only hospital patients can go on to have transition care. You can only access transition care directly from the hospital, which is in accordance with the question. So the statement here is in complete accordance with the question. The answer will be true. It is as simple as this particular thing. So you need to understand the statement over here. You can only access transition care directly from the hospital. The question here is only hospital patients can go on to have transition care, which is directly in accordance with the question. That is why the answer will be true. Transition care may be long term or short term. May be long term or short term. Um, okay. In this particular statement here, transition care is focused on individual goals and therapies and is given for a limited time only. Now, the thing to understand over here is limited. Okay. So it is given only for a limited time. It is not for a long-term basis. It has a time period, a defined time period. So transition care may be long-term or short-term, which is not true. So the answer is false. So the second answer to question number two is false. I hope I'm making myself absolutely clear why the answer to question number two will be false. It is given for a limited amount of time. It is not an indefinite as many days as you like to have. So it is a short term period that you will get your transition care. That is why the answer to this question is false. Everyone receiving transition care must contribute to the cost. Everyone who is receiving transition care must be paying, must contribute to the cost. Now let us have a look at the statement over here. Um, Transition care is often provided by non-government organizations and is subsidized by the government. If your circumstances allow, it is expected you will contribute to the cost of your care. If your circumstances allow. Now, there could be people whose circumstances doesn't allow them to contribute to the cost. And the question here is every single individual who is receiving transition care must contribute to the cost. The answer is clearly false, because if your circumstances is allowing you to go ahead and make the payment towards the cost, only then you will be contributing towards the cost, which is not what is given in the passage. So the answer to question number three is false again. Question number four, transition care at home is only available for patients who live alone. This is interesting. This particular question is very interesting. Now, let us try to find the answer to this particular question. Okay, transition care is provided in your own home or a live-in setting. The setting can be part of an existing aged care home or health facility, such as a separate wing of an hospital. Before that, you know, daily fees, uh, daily care fees are set by the organization that provides the transition care services. That is your service provider. They should explain these fees to you, and the amount charged should form part of the agreement. So, as you can see, this information is nowhere written. So, answer to question number four, transition care at home is only available for patients who live alone, is is not given. We don't have any information about patients who are living alone and only they are eligible to apply for transition care. So the answer is not given. Let us move on to the next question. Question number five, transition care may be given on a hospital site. Now, the key word over here is may be given. It is a possibility that transition care will be given at a hospital site. Now, let us have a look at this particular statement over here. Transition care is provided in your own home or a live-in setting. This setting can be part of an existing aged care home or health facility, such as a separate wing of a hospital. The question here is transition care may be given on a hospital site. It is a hospital site, but a separate wing. That is the only difference. It doesn't make any difference actually, because it is a part of the hospital. And the question is asking you that transition care may be given at a hospital site. Healthcare facilities such as a separate wing of a hospital. So it is in accordance with the statement in the passage. The question is in accordance with the statement in the passage. So the answer will be true. Transition care may be given on a hospital site is true. Now, the last question over here, you may lose your place in a care home if you have to leave it, to receive transition care. Now, Let us look at this last statement over here. If you are already receiving subsidized residential care in an aged care home, but you need to go somewhere else for transition care, your place in the aged care home will be held until you return. So you are not losing your place. It will be held until you return. So which is in direct contradiction to the statement that is given over here. Uh, so the answer is false. So the answer to question number 6 will be false because it is directly contradicting to the statement that is given in the passage. So your place at the uh, old age home is not going to be lost. You're not going to lose it because they're going to hold your place. Your place in the aged care home will be held until you return. So you are, as you can see, that we have to clearly understand what is given in the statement versus what is given in the questions. So once we understand what is given in the passage versus what is given in the questions, which is never going to be exactly the same, there will be a lot of paraphrasing, as we can already see. There could be usage of certain synonyms, and with the help of all these techniques, we need to determine correctly uh, the right answer. I hope I've been able to explain this entire concept to you. I would highly encourage go ahead and read the entire passage, then go ahead and attempt the questions. With the help of that, you will be able to understand it better. Thank you for your time today, and let us meet on our next lesson. Thank you. Bye bye.